Eala sets quarterfinal clash with Camila Osorio. Playing on home soil, Eala continued her strong run at the Philippine Women's Open, advancing to the quarterfinals with a commanding straight sets victory. The 20-year-old Filipino netter delivered a dominant 6-4, 6-0 win over Japan's Himino Sakitsum, securing a quarterfinal showdown against Colombia's Camila Osorio. Eala reached the last 8 following another emphatic performance earlier in the tournament, dispatching Russian Elena Chereva 6-1, 6-2 in the round of 32 on the 26th of January. Eala and Osorio will meet for the first time in their professional careers at the center court of the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center, with the first serve scheduled for 7 p.m. Tough wall to break. Osorio, currently ranked number 84 in the WTA rankings, is a 24-year-old three-time WTA 250 singles champion, having claimed all her titles in her home country of Colombia in 2021, 2024, and 2025. The Colombian entered the Philippine Women's Open after an early exit at the Australian Open, where she narrowly lost to world number 33 and Lee in a first-round thriller, 4-6, 7-6, 5-7. Osorio booked her quarterfinal berth with a hard-fought 3-set win over Mai Hontama, 6-4, 4-6, 6-2, in the round of 16, followed by a 6-4, 6-3 victory against Sakura Hasogi in the round of 32. When tomorrow knocks, Eala sets quarterfinal clash with Camila Osorio. The night before the quarterfinal, the court lay quiet, its blue surface holding the echoes of rallies already played and those yet to come. Under the floodlights, the stadium felt like a paused breath, waiting. Tomorrow, 2 stories would collide there. One belonged to a teenager still learning how quickly dreams can turn real. The other belonged to a seasoned warrior who had learned, match by match, how fragile momentum can be. Alexandra Eala versus Camila Osorio was not just another quarterfinal. It was a meeting of timelines. For Eala, the tournament had unfolded like a whispered promise turning into a declaration. Each round sharpened her presence, her left-handed strokes cutting angles that refused to obey expectation. She played with a mix of patience and daring that made opponents hesitate, just long enough for her to take control. Every win felt like a step forward not only for herself, but for those watching from afar, seeing possibility reflected in her calm intensity. Osorio, on the other hand, arrived with the weight of experience and the quiet confidence of someone who had stood in these moments before. She had carried her country's flag on her shoulders, absorbed pressure, survived slumps, and rebuilt herself through grit. Where Eala's game felt like an unfolding story, Osorio's felt like a seasoned novel, pages worn, but rich with meaning. The quarterfinal promised contrast. Eala's tennis is built on rhythm and belief. She doesn't rush the point. She constructs it. Her forehand, heavy with topspin, pulls opponents wide, while her backhand, clean, unafraid, redirects pace with surgical precision. What makes her dangerous, though, is not just technique. It's the stillness in her eyes when the score tightens. She doesn't look for the exit. She looks for the opening. Against her, Osorio brings fire shaped by survival. She thrives in chaos, in long rallies that test lungs and nerves alike. She retrieves balls others would abandon, turning defense into sudden offense. Her speed along the baseline is relentless, and her willingness to grind makes every game feel earned, never given. Osorio doesn't intimidate with power alone. She wears opponents down until doubt becomes the loudest voice on court. As the draw settled and the matchup became official, the tennis world leaned in. This was not a battle of rankings or reputations. It was a clash of momentum. Eala, riding the surge of belief that only comes when nothing feels impossible. Osorio, determined to remind everyone that belief must still answer to experience. The match would likely be decided in the small moments. A second serve at breakpoint. A backhand down the line taken a fraction early. A decision to go for more when safety beckoned. These are the moments where youth can shine or falter, and where veterans either steady the ship or feel it slip away. For Eala, the quarterfinal represented a door cracked open. A win would not just place her in a semifinal. It would announce her arrival in a language the tour understands fluently, results. But pressure has a way of disguising itself. It arrives as opportunity. The challenge would be staying present, trusting the patterns that carried her this far, and resisting the temptation to rush the future. Osorio knew that temptation well. She had lived it. Her task was different but no less demanding. Disrupt the rhythm, extend the rallies, test Eala's patience until the shine of freedom met the grind of reality. If she could drag the match into deeper waters, the experience gap might speak loudest. And yet, tennis rarely follows script. When the first ball is struck, reputation dissolves. All that remains is timing, courage, and choice. Eala's lefty serve swinging wide. Osorio's return, compact and defiant. The crowd sensing that something meaningful is taking shape. Not just a contest, but a conversation between generations. Regardless of the outcome, this quarterfinal already mattered. It mattered because it showed how the sport renews itself, not by replacing the old, but by challenging it. It mattered because it reminded us that talent does not ask permission to arrive, and experience does not surrender easily. And it mattered because somewhere between Eala's fearless construction and Osorio's relentless resistance, tennis would reveal one of its favorite truths: the future is never given, it is fought for, point by point. When tomorrow finally arrived and the quiet court filled with sound, the blue safest would no longer be waiting. It would be alive. And on it, Eala and Camila Osorio would do what they always do when the stakes rise.